I work at Creative Warehouse, and when we heard about the eufyMake printer, we knew we had to take a look at it. And even though it's a Kickstarter, let's take a look at what this could do. Oh, it's chunky. And what looks like the print bed that comes with it. And a nice little quick start guide. And a bed. Unlike FDM printers, UV printers will spray down an ink and then cure it almost instantly with a UV light, this one included. This particular model can do a bunch of different colors and print some depth and texture as well, which is part of why we're excited about it. Eufy has been talking about a wide variety of different materials that they're looking to unveil at one point or another, and I've seen some of the prints in person, but I'm definitely looking forward to playing around with it myself. All right. There's another nice little surprise for us inside. Oh, well packed, if nothing else. Looks like we got a bunch of cables, some UV glasses, power cable, a couple of ceramic test print pieces, and a charcoal filter, which, as it is UV ink, is pretty important because the VOCs can be a little bit nasty. eufyMake claims that with this charcoal filter and the setup that they have, this should be safe for indoors. We'll take a little bit of a dive into whether or not I can smell any of the UV inks, but as far as I've been able to see in the past, it seems like they do a pretty good job, at least when things are closed up. So we have our quick start guide, which appears to be attached to a print surface. And this, I believe, is a tack mat for sticking your parts down to put them into the printer. So we also have a smaller tack mat for the integrated smaller bed where you can run it fully closed up. And then this would be for printing on some of your bigger pieces that you'd have to run with the doors open. So it ships with the smaller bed in place. Just a little lever, take it off for when you can do really small things. There are several other attachments as well, some for doing direct to a film, as well as a rotary attachment for printing onto bottles or other round objects. This is the ink that you're actually using, as well as a cleaning cartridge kit that fits into it to make sure that things don't get clogged up when you aren't using it or just through general use. These are individual cartridges that'll slide into the unit here. And these are replaceable. I believe they're looking at having larger tanks for at least some of them, just to make swapping out less frequent, but that's still in the works. There's 3 white cartridges, a gloss cartridge. The white is for doing backgrounds if you need to make sure that something pops if you're printing on something transparent or with a different colored backer. And then the gloss gives a more shiny reflection on the final printed part. I've seen mixed feedback on the gloss itself. As far as I've seen, the ink is fairly reflective, but depending on what you're trying to do, could work out pretty well. And this is your cleaning kit, which also stores used resin. We have another box to open up. Guess this is gonna be your CMYKs. There we go. That's more like the colors I was expecting. There's your CMYK with a cleaning, a white, and a gloss. I'm guessing this is a replacement kit then. Now these are out of their main boxes, take a look through the quick start guide. There's a nice little foam piece to take off here. Alrighty, that holds the print head in place. All right, now that the packing foam for shipping is taken out, oh, there's a nice little sticker too. Oh, I left a shmoo. All right, next step is plug it in. From what I've seen online, the power up for this does take a bit, which isn't super surprising. And also the power down takes quite a while just to make sure that everything's clean and running properly. Power ports on my side. Is that you? That was the noise I was actually waiting for. All right, so now it appears to be on. All right, now that it sounds like all the configuration and startup is done, let's get the print ink modules installed. They do have convenient markings on all of them, so putting them in the right place should be pretty straightforward. I do enjoy the smell of UV ink in the morning. So next up is the cleaning solution. So that should be under this cartridge here. There are 3 protective caps. Take those out. Now that I'm installing this section, it does say to wear gloves for all of it. As I stated before, most of the inks and stuff in here are not terribly good for you. So this has 3 little protective covers on it, and we just insert it in. Nice. Ooh. It has informed me that I have done the thing. Ooh. And then we have the filter to install. Ah, yes, there we go. All right, it's a pretty tight fit, as I'd hope. Otherwise, it's not gonna do a ton of filtering. Let's get this front cover back on, close this up, and then we are moving over to the app. Reminds you every time something's installed. Also, it reminds me about our sponsor. Thanks to Shopify for sponsoring this video. Shopify is a powerful commerce platform designed to help you start, grow, and manage your business with ease. We use Shopify for our very own merch store, lttstore.com, since 2019. Thanks to their intuitive tools and robust features, we were able to process over 1 million orders since then. For creators like us, they offer a fantastic feature that integrates our shop across all platforms like YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and more. And it's not just us. Millions of people in over 170 countries are selling online using Shopify. If you're just starting out, don't worry. They make it super easy for everyone with its simple drag and drop store editor, marketing tools, and you can even get real-time insights into customer shopping behavior with Shopify Live View. You can even collaborate with other brands, making it great for entrepreneurs and influencers. Whether it's online or in person, Shopify can help turn your ideas into a successful business. So head to shopify.com/shortcircuit to get started and see why Shopify is the go-to platform for entrepreneurs and businesses worldwide. We got the app downloaded. This does require a phone app to be set up. I was planning on trying to just do it on a desktop app, but that apparently isn't possible. The initial setup was a little bit of a hassle. Whether that's our network issues or an issue with the device is hard to say, but we did have a bit of headaches with having to take out and reconnect some of the cartridges. But after we got it set up and connected to Ethernet here, it wasn't too bad to get the rest of it set up. And now we're into the initialization. 25-minute total time for initialization. Let's go. This will take 20 minutes, so we'll see you in a bit. Roughly 20 minutes later, the ink is now injected, and it's taking us through the rest of the installation steps. So we have to make sure that the flatbed and upper white film are installed. That would be this piece here. Pop this open, take this off. Take off the protective film. Ooh, satisfying. And slap that down. Nice little press, and let's install this back in. Check status, takes about 60 seconds. Setting up any printer like this is generally not a quick endeavor, so this isn't anything that I wouldn't necessarily expect. Now it's doing a test print. It says it'll take about 2 minutes and to not interrupt this process. As far as I can tell, I believe it's just doing a nice test layout to make sure none of the nozzles are clogged and everything's functioning as expected. We'll take it out, take a look at it, and then we can actually get to the real prints. Print looks done. Let's open it up and take a little look. On the screen, it gives you examples of what good successful prints are and what cleaning required results are. Based off what I can see here, looks like all of the nozzles look good. It is now calibrating the camera, which will take a further 10 minutes. So I'll see you in about 10 minutes. Initialization's ready to go after a little bit of a mistake on my part. Let's get this paper off and we can start printing. There's the calibration for the printer, for the camera. Pop this off. You can see where I accidentally took the paper off the first time. Pro tip, leave it on until it tells you to take it off. Learning from my mistakes. Taking a look through the app, it takes you through your first textured 3D print. So I have chosen a nice little dragon. Plop the magnet down. Give it a little zhuzh. Close it up. Snapshot takes about 1 to 3 minutes. Please do not move the print bed or the material. Also, do not close this page or the lock screen. They really like to remind you to not let your phone go to sleep. It's like it's scanning the object that's placed down. I saw some like laser lines on it. And now I think it's doing the optical camera alignment. So that's nice and aligned, and I'll just hit start. And it's going. Looks like we're about 50% of the way done now, and I'm starting to see the colorations come through. It's looking pretty awesome. It's a bit difficult to capture because of the super reflective covers on it. And since it is a UV light, we do want to keep it closed up at least for now, but I'm looking forward to seeing this done. Print just finished up, 13 minutes on the timer. That sounds about right. Let's take a little look. Oh, that's really on there. Ugh. Oh, that is a gorgeous frickin' print. And there's fair bit of texture to it too. One thing that I noticed pretty quickly, I did not align it perfectly. You can see some of the bleed off on the edge on the print bed. So with that misalignment, there was some that printed onto the bed. This is a consumable piece, this cover. So this can come off. We don't know what the pricing of this is, but as far as I've heard, it's supposed to be relatively cost effective. And if I had aligned this a little bit better on this particular piece, it wouldn't have been an issue. That said, this print turned out ridiculously good. For 13 minutes, this is super cool. And it is dry to the touch, completely fine. It's a little bit tacky, but I think that's just the nature of the finished material and nothing that I wouldn't expect. You can see some of the layer lines on it too. Now that I've gotten this first print done, I'm gonna take this back to CW, run through a bunch more test prints, and then we'll have some more stuff to show you right now. Back at it, now we have a bunch of prints to look at. I did a wide variety of different materials, different shapes, different sizes, even busted out the rotary axis, which I was quite impressed with. It worked really well and the setup was simple. We'll do a quick little look at that. Also even printed a screwdriver on a screwdriver because, you know, that's fun. Print sizes and print times vary wildly depending on what you're gonna do. Anything from something like this, which takes about an hour and a half, down to a flat small piece that takes 3 minutes. And the cost and amount of ink consumed will also vary wildly depending on if you're doing large areas, small areas, and texture. Texture definitely consumes quite a bit, but the biggest print that we did and the most consumption was this, which is a flat piece, but it's just a very large area. So your mileage will vary quite a bit depending on exactly what you're trying to do. But as far as I've seen, it's extremely capable in essentially every area that I've tried to use it. Definitely looking forward to showing these prints and parts to the other Creative Warehouse team members to start ideating what we can use it for our workflows. Looking a little more closely at some of the prints, the phone case with our Trust Me Bro guarantee sticker came out really well. When I set this to high detail, the granularity was definitely a lot better. I noticed on some of the other prints, there was a bit of graininess on some of them, but this one came out super well. If you want to add textures to your parts, you can either import your own or you can use their built-in machine learning or AI tool to generate a texture map, which uses some of their tokens that you get a certain amount of every month. I used their AI generator for this Linus face, and I was impressed with how well and how much detail it was able to get on his face, both within like his mouth being sunk in and his hair texturing really coming out. One instance of the texture not working quite as well as you might hope is with transparent objects and for some metallics. So this transparent screwdriver that I did, it definitely didn't capture the depths correctly, which I don't blame it. Capturing transparent and metallic objects in general is quite difficult for systems like this, and this would be a good application for being able to import your own texture map. Would work quite well. But it still made it look really nice. So I printed these on the sticker paper. Let's see how well it peels off. Also, I may not have done this perfectly correctly, to be fair. Actually came off pretty well. A little bit of extra material, but I imagine that's fairly easy to get off. I'm sure that this could be done better than I did it. All right, that was pretty easy. Overall, I'm very impressed with the usability, how simple and how just plug and play this printer is. It is still a Kickstarter / pre-order, so be careful. If you do decide to pre-order, the printer itself is about $2,500 US, and you can get multiple add-ons that could bring it up to $3,800. Each ink cartridge is $43 US per, and if you get the bundle pack with all of the ink cartridges and the cleaning pack, it's about $300 USD. I'm really excited to see what we can make use of this in our workflows. And I look forward to seeing how well Eufy supports it. And I look forward to you commenting, and subscribing to ShortCircuit. If you like this video, check out one of the other 3D printers that I unboxed. And have a great day.